Welcome to this lecture 1 of the How to Become a Good Writer course, and it's usually it'll be about SAT Essay section, and I'm going to cover some parts in order to help you out from to become a generally good writer. And first of all, before I start, I think I have to ask you for an inconvenience, because sometimes you might hear some accents, and my accents are not Korean. It's about unique, because most of my friends in America told me that you just you have a weird accent, and I don't really know where it comes from. And probably might come from my own original learning and stuff. And because I didn't learn English in some countries like where you are right now. But I think I'm kind of confident in talking, and probably if you don't get used to it, you might feel like disturbing. His accent is so weird, However, I think writing class is not, it doesn't have to do with accents. So please be sure to know those types of stuff beforehand. So lecture 1, writing, and I'm going to preview the whole thing that we're talking about. So let's talk about this whole thing. How to become a good writer. First of all, we have to know the definition of writing, right? So writing is writing some words in right order. Something like, you can't write like I am boy, like I am a boy. You have to write in that order, right? To convey your own meaning. So this must be pertinent to grammar. And writing is a communication of your ideas, like essence, like what is my idea and what am I going to talk about? But it is a communication. So that part will be included in one of my own algorithm that I'm going to introduce right now. And writing is a conversation written down in words. So conversation of your ideas to whom, right? That was the major question, and a lot of people really didn't answer that question. A lot of instructors didn't really answer that question. So what I'm going to do is answering that question will be the first hand, right? But let me answer that question later on. And we still have this part of question. How can I become a good writer? We do know what is writing by now, right? Maybe I'm talking too fast. Well, maybe not, but get used to it first. And I learned this writing for 3 years, and I think I'm probably eligible to teach you about this algorithm. So how to become a good writer? So there is a subset of those questions. Do you really want to become a good writer? Or do you just want to get a good grade in your SAT essay section? To be honest, I think the second question would be relevant, right? And the first question is too general. It's I don't know. Maybe I don't want to become a good writer. It's I don't know. But my algorithm that I'm going to give you as a solution to this course, would allow you to become a good writer and to get a good grade. Which means, after you get a good grade in SAT essay section, you might go to a good college, right? You might go to some really good college like Ivy League or UCLA, UC Berkeley, or those schools, like the dream schools. And after you go there, it's not the end of it. It's just not the end of the story. You need to write well. You will take a lot of writing classes, and I'm sure that you have to take a lot of writing classes in order to graduate. No. Now, how would this course be different from any other course you encountered? Yes, this is really relevant question, because this is not some gibberish, right? This is important question. So let's talk about that in here. So algorithm. So this is the deal. So compare a good writer and a bad writer first. Who is a good writer? What is a good writer? And how? It's not about a question about how to become a good writer. It's what is a good writer. And it's maybe who is a good writer, right? But I would say what is a good writer, because a good writer, I'm not talking about human being right now, but I'm just talking about what he does. So bad writer first starts writing without thinking. They just start writing. After they get a topic, after they get a question, they just start writing something, and that's pretty bad, right? I don't think this is a good way, and I'm telling you this truth. I did this. When I took my first SAT, and after that I just kind of changed it, But let's talk about good writer. Good writer starts thinking first. They think. after they think, they just like think, like without words, without just writing, without even holding the pen. It's like, what should I say? You know? Then he starts to write. Then he starts to write something in a paper. And then he makes a masterpiece that no one could ever think of. Now, that will be your key success for your career as like talking in English or writing in English and everything. So how am I going to solve this problem? For you, right? You have a problem and I need to solve it for you. And I will give you an algorithm. So that's why I wrote algorithm in a big word, right? A new algorithm that new algorithm that gives you how to think then write. So I'm going to make every algorithm explicit. So you think, so what that means is that I'm going to make a thinking process explicit and so that you could see with bare hands and you could do things with your own bare hand without even like thinking about it. So that would be a key thing of this course. And I really hope that a lot of people get the benefits out of this course because this is a new thing. And this is not, okay, so this is the thing. Because it is new, it doesn't mean that a lot of people haven't used it. I just made this algorithm, which is an explicit set of like thinking processes. And I capture all those important things in order to solve your problem. So, algorithm called IODP. Now this is completely my work, right? IODP, you haven't heard about that at all in your whole lifetime. But I borrowed ideas from many professors and authors in each step. So you'll learn what step is, what stages are, and you'd see, those type of steps, like he borrowed it a lot, but stage is why I use my own brain to come up with. So be sure to know that. So I'm going to acknowledge a lot of professors and authors later on when I teach those materials. And I would give names and, acknowledge repeatedly over and over again because they were like, they were really good to me. And those people helped me when I learned writing when I was in college, when I was in my freshman year. Let's talk about that. When I was in my freshman year, I learned this thing and my professor, writing professor told me, or suggested me this book, this small book, which helped me to develop from opinion to development. And that book was really helpful. And after that, I took another class, not with her, but with a different professor. He's from Ireland. And he told me with his own thick Irish accent, he told me that, James, you need to learn about this book. You just buy this book and take home with you and just read it, okay? It'll help you in the end. And he gave that book for me to make a style of my own. And you'll see what style is later on. So let's not talk about my own life, right? Let's talk about IODP. So IODP. So I stands for ideas. Opinion stands for opinion. O stands for opinion. And development. D stands for development. And P stands for paper. Now, I know this isn't clear. I mean, this whole diagram is pretty much clear, right? But what does it mean? It's like, huh? It's like, that's the relevant question. It's like, huh? It's like, after looking at this, you're kind of like being dumb, duh? It's like, you really don't know what to say about it. So I'm going to break it down into pieces for you to understand better. So the whole thing preview about this is first 10 lectures would focus on conceptual understanding of this algorithm and kind of a little application. And after those 10 lectures, I would focus on a real application of this algorithm to your own SAT essay section. So I will randomly choose one prompt from SAT, the old test, and I'm just gonna use my own algorithm to show you that this algorithm actually works. This is not a bogus, this is a completely new thing that works.